Once upon a time in the quaint town of Madison, there lay a place of apparent learning, a university that promised the world but delivered naught but sorrow. Dakota State University, Madison, a fortress of false hopes and shattered dreams, stood as the backdrop to my tale of woe. As I first set foot upon the hallowed grounds, the air was thick with the scent of ignorance and the stench of predatory parking practices. Oh, how they lurked, these vultures in their neon vests, circling the lots, ever ready to pounce on the unsuspecting driver with a ticket, a fine, a punishment for daring to seek knowledge in their domain. The walk from the farthest reaches of their labyrinthine lots to the ivory towers was a pilgrimage in itself, a mile at least, through the biting cold or the sweltering heat, a trek that tested the resolve of even the most determined scholar. The dorms were relics of a bygone era, their walls echoing with the damp whispers of mold and the weeping of those who feared for their belongings, left to the mercy of thieves in the night. Maintenance requests were but whispers into the void, unheard, unanswered, a testament to the apathy that pervaded the very bricks and mortar of the place. And the food, dear listener, the food was a mockery of sustenance. Imagine, if you will, a cafeteria where the victuals were but a cruel jest, where the texture of the meat was akin to the rubber of a well-worn tire, and the vegetables, limp and lifeless, seemed to sigh in despair upon the plate. The aroma was not of home-cooked meals, but of institutional indifference, a scent that clung to one's clothing and haunted the dreams of homesick students. To consume such fare was to surrender to the slow decay of hope, to watch one's own form wither as the scales tipped ever toward malnourishment of both body and soul. The service, or lack thereof, was a theater of the absurd. Servers, if they deigned to acknowledge one's existence, wore the countenance of those condemned to eternal tedium, their movements slow, their eyes vacant, their very presence a silent admonition that speed and courtesy were relics of a bygone age. To request a refill or an extra napkin was to engage in a battle of wills, a Sisyphean task that sapped the spirit and tried the patience of even the most zen among us. But lo, the academic advising was a labyrinth without an Ariadne, a place where one entered with questions and exited with more. Advisors, shrouded in the mists of disinterest, seemed to revel in the art of misdirection, their guidance as elusive as the Yeti, their enthusiasm for their charges as fleeting as a shadow at dusk. To switch majors was to embark upon a quest fraught with peril, for the advisor's wisdom was as a will-o'-the-wisp, ever out of reach, and leading one astray into the bogs of bureaucracy and despair. The cybersecurity program, touted as the nation's best, was but a castle built upon sand, its foundations crumbling under the weight of unfulfilled promises. The curriculum was a tapestry of theory, woven by those who had forgotten the feel of keys beneath fingertips, the thrill of the hunt for elusive bugs, the practical skills that were the lifeblood of the craft. To emerge from such a program was to be armed with naught but parchment, and the sinking feeling that one's education was as obsolete as the abacus in the age of the calculator. And woe unto those who dared to bring a vehicle to this place of learning, for the parking was atrocious, a daily—
In the shadow of Dakota State University, Madison, lies a tapestry of businesses, each with its own tale of delight or dismay. As we embark on a journey through the commercial heartbeat of this academic haven, we find a narrative that is as intriguing as it is cautionary. Imagine stepping into a world where the promise of a vibrant shopping experience at Hillsdale Shopping Center is overshadowed by the whisperings of disappointment. Here, the once charming indoor mall has been transformed into an open-air labyrinth where music competes with the cacophony of traffic, and the remnants of snow and slush in winter months turn a simple stroll into an obstacle course. The dual parking structures stand as monoliths of inconvenience, casting long shadows over the shopping experience. As we wander further, we stumble upon the hallowed halls of Anytime Fitness, a beacon of health and vitality, or so it seems. Beneath the veneer of a clean facility lies a quagmire of broken promises, and a haunting past that reaches out to bite unsuspecting patrons years after they've moved on. The specter of debt collectors and misleading contracts looms large, a stark reminder that even in the pursuit of wellness, vigilance is the price of peace. Our journey takes a turn as we find solace in the warmth of Vaquero Mexican Grill, a culinary oasis that promises the comfort of Mexican cuisine. Yet beneath the guise of savory spices and sizzling meats, there lies a caveat. Diners beware, for within these walls, the occasional uninvited guest, a hard, black rock, may find its way into your meal, jeopardizing not just your evening, but your dental work as well. As the sun sets on our sojourn, we find ourselves at Eno Vino downtown, where the view is as intoxicating as the wine list is extensive. But amidst the panoramic vistas and the clinking of fine glassware, there's an undercurrent of discontent. The service, once the hallmark of this establishment, now seems as elusive as the last sip of a prized vintage. Patrons whisper of cold receptions and the cruel dance of the vanishing waitstaff, leaving one to ponder if the view is worth the price of admission. In the heart of Madison, the Office Bar Grill offers a respite for the weary, a place where the promise of good pizza and cold beer beckons. Yet the reality is a lukewarm embrace, where the pizza arrives not with a fanfare of crispiness, but with a soggy sigh, and the beer, instead of a refreshing chill, carries the warmth of disappointment. Finally, we find ourselves at our wine bar kitchen, where the allure of fine wine and the charm of outdoor seating await. But even here, the siren call of poor service can leave a bitter aftertaste, as the once vibrant and attentive staff seem to pass by like ships in the night, leaving diners marooned in a sea of unfulfilled expectations. In this comprehensive tapestry of Madison's businesses near Dakota State University, one cannot help but feel a sense of melancholy. The promise of a bustling commercial scene is marred by the reality of poor service, unfulfilled expectations, and the occasional culinary calamity. As a traveler, one must tread with caution, for the allure of these establishments can sometimes be as deceptive as the twilight zone described by a disillusioned shopper at Hillsdale. Yet amidst the shadows of imperfection, there lies a glimmer of hope. For in the heart of every patron lies the power to demand better, to seek out the gems that sparkle amidst the stones. And so, with a discerning eye and an unwavering spirit, the intrepid traveler ventures forth, ever hopeful that the next encounter will be one where expectations are not just met, but exceeded.
I am looking into crimes near Dakota State University, Madison, and it feels heavy, like watching clouds drift over a gray city. Businesses near Dakota State University, Madison are like small storefronts that promise convenience but sometimes hide a nasty surprise for tourists who only stay a couple weeks. One of the biggest shockers was the gold bar scam that hit a woman who thought she was talking to a Walmart representative. She was told her identity was stolen, so she was asked to convert cash into gold bars and drop them off at a local shop. The shop looked normal right next to the campus, but a courier dressed as a federal agent walked in, took the gold, and vanished. After that, she probably rushed to the police, tried to get her house back, and ended up losing everything she owned. The scammers were later caught by the FBI, and the woman is likely still dealing with huge debt and emotional wreckage. Businesses near Dakota State University, Madison are also like banks that suddenly look like they have a problem. In the bank spoofing scheme, criminals called people, spoofed the university's nearby credit union number, and sent them to a fake branch set up inside a mall near the campus. Victims were asked to hand over passwords or hand over cash to fix an urgent issue. The tourists probably realized the mistake when the bank closed, reported it, and lost some money before the police shut down the fake counter. The fraudsters likely faced charges and will be serving time, while the victims are left feeling foolish and broke. Finally, the bait